What's up, YouTube? This is a video of the aftermath of a removal that I did on September 4th. This is in Western PA, just to give you an idea of colony sizes this time of the year. When I did the removal, I used two shop vacs. This orange bucket was the shop vac from the inside, and a lot of that is Yellowjackets. Some of the nesting components piled up at the top, but you can see there was a good bit there. And for this particular situation, the customer had sprayed outside of the house and ended up pushing, I would say 100 to 150 inside of the house. So those were just the ones that were still in the nest. This shop vac I had propped up on the outside where I was catching all the foragers that were returning, as well as some that were coming out. As you can see here, there's a ton. I don't know how many there actually is. The weight of this strainer literally was the weight of, a pot of pasta, just for frame of reference. Now, I'll show you how I had it set up. It wasn't from the actual removal. Like I said in the beginning here, the customer did have a lot in their house, so I wasn't about to film, since she did have such a bad situation going on. I just want to get him out of her house and help her. All right, next I'm going to show you the nest. So this was the nest that I actually pulled out, and I'll show you a picture that the customer had taken before I got there. But this nest was up in the basement, right where the block wall, met the actual house itself, and this was tucked under some insulation. So like I said earlier, the customer had sprayed the outside of the hole trying to kill these, and what ended up happening was that caused some of these Yellowjackets to push into the actual living space. That's why I'm always very hesitant to use a dust or even just a regular spray when it's a in-wall nest like that, because you just never know where they're going to end up going. Okay, these next two pictures are a different removal that I did. I believe that was the following week. But for this situation here, I was helping someone else out that had an in-wall nest. Now, the other side of the window there, that is their kitchen, with very nice cabinets and everything. The cabinets would have been right on the other side of that wall. In this situation, this colony was not aggressive. You could pretty much stand right by that shop vac and, they weren't going to bother you. They had also not got into the actual house yet, so they hadn't chewed through the drywall. So what I did in this situation, rather than cut the wall, was I set this shop vac up for them. This was their shop vac. There's a little bit of soapy water in there, and we ran it a good bit that night while I was there, and then I left it set up where it could be safely plugged in, and pretty much told them try to run it for a half hour and a half hour, twice a day. By doing so, when you're getting those foragers as they're coming in and out, if you run it for a half hour and a half hour when they're busy, when they're flying in and out, you're going to significantly cut those numbers down. And this is what I would much rather do than use a dust or a spray without knowing exactly where that nest is and then pushing them throughout the house. So they like to come in and out this way. I have that nozzle about an inch from where they're flying out, so as soon as they take flight or as soon as they're going to land, that nozzle is sucking them up. For anyone that may be thinking it, I did check above the soffit. I ran my borescope there. They were going in right at the corner of that window into the wall. And like I said, that's where their kitchen cabinets are. There was no wasps on the inside of their house, no danger there. So this is just what I think is the best method in these kind of situations, especially if they have a shop vac that they can set up. It wasn't going to rain for a few days. I just think that this is kind of the perfect scenario. These aren't honeybees, so there's not honey and wax in that wall. It's going to attract rodents. You'll have a very minimal amount of stuff in that wall. That's pretty much it for this video. I didn't really have an actual removal in process, but I felt like I had a little bit of stuff that I wanted to share that I thought might be interesting, and maybe a different technique as far as, having someone come in. If you can safely set that up, if it's not an aggressive colony, I think that's the best way to do it. I would recommend, if you have any allergies or anything like that, to just have someone come out with a suit, set that up, or set it up at night very carefully. because some of these colonies can set off and you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation. But if you like this kind of content, I'm going to have a playlist of my other videos like this down below. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for checking it out.